here we go, week 4. We're making a structure change this week, and the structure change is going to exist well into the regular training with the BAMP hammer. I really like a training session that can be done in 45 minutes to an hour, where you got a warm up, you've got practice of a skill, and then you've got some time where we're doing some metabolic conditioning, usually some sort of HIIT training, high intensity interval, something like that, and then a good cool down. So this week, we're gonna get into those practice sessions. Now, when this happens, you're gonna warm yourself up, take 10 to 15 minutes to practice whatever skill is assigned for the day, and then we'll get into the Metcon and you'll cool yourself down. We've got 3 skills that we're going to practice this week. Skill number 1, we're gonna practice single hand swings, okay? We did this on the first day. During the actual training, we'll be back to a single swing, but for the single-handed swings, what I'm looking for is maximum endurance per hand, okay? So give yourself a little bit of time. We'll do nothing but swings on the right and then nothing but swings on the left until your grip runs out. The other thing I want you to practice in this time is manipulating where your grip exists on the hammer while you are mid-movement, and start to cultivate just a little bit more understanding of what it's like to move your hand up and down the hammer while we're doing the swing. So these 2 things together is I'm gonna try and choke up, and then choke down, and choke down, all while swinging with the same hand. And also really push the boundaries of what you can get in, how many reps you can get in with a single hand, okay? And then switch hands. Give yourself a minute, 90 seconds or so to rest in between switching hands. And let's bear in mind that your upper body position, none of that changes. We're just dealing with grip endurance here, okay? Movement number 2 for day number 2, training session number 2, airplane. Airplane's gone. Training session number 2, we're going to advance your press a little bit, and we're gonna make the goal here. And if you only get 1 or 2 of these per side, 2 points, that's great. But we're gonna go for 2-hand press on the bottom, up to a single hand, and then return, so a 2 and 1 push press, okay? The body position is going to stay the same. So, what I'm looking for, 2 hands on the bottom, nice braced spine, dip, drive, let this hand come off, and return to the bottom. Now, if that's not where you're at right now, don't worry about it. We can add a little pause with this other hand. So I'm gonna go up, try and stabilize without the hand, put it there if I need it, and try and get it off the hammer as quickly as possible. So dip, drive, put it there, good, yes, and boom, bring it back down. I would alternate these reps, get 1 with 1 hand and 1 with the other. Training session number 3, we're gonna go back to our swings. We're gonna try and switch hands in the middle of the swing. The switch happens when the hammer is, that's a mummy. When the hammer is straight off of your body, okay, so your arm should be straight. All I'm looking for is 1 hand to come off and 1 hand to come on. So, swing is set, switch, switch, switch. If you start to feel really confident on training day number 3, maybe give a little bit more time where the hammer's just hanging out in the air. They're hard to break, but don't hurt yourself. Okay, so those are your 3 skill development sections for training day 1, 2, and 3. For the Metcon, we're gonna go back to a single swing, okay? Starting from good position, hike, swing, hammer returns to the ground, all right? We're going to make an adjustment with the squat. We're gonna move the hammer off the shoulder and move into a front support squat. So, the hammer's here, nice and tall, sitting deep as your body can take it, all right? Focusing on getting your spine up nice and tall, feet are shoulder width apart, and your shoulders are pulled back. None of this. Okay, there's your squat. The pullover, we're moving from the 360. I'm gonna go over to the back. Dip and drive is gonna return to the front. So, starting from front support, going over my back under control, making an effort not to touch the hammer to my back, okay? If it does touch on the way over, try and get it off your back before we go dip, drive up to the front, over, dip, drive up to the front. Presses, We are back to a 2 and 2 for the actual workout. Dip. Return, dip. Return. Okay, that includes training day number 2. You're gonna get a lot of presses that day. And then lastly, we're going, again, single slams with a swing in between, but I want you to try and link a couple of them up. So I'm gonna start in a landing position, here, up, slam, let it swing. And again, all we're looking for is the hammer to land flat. Not a lot of intensity on that slam. Then a good cool down. Enjoy this week of training. If you need to go back, you feel like there's a lot of skill that's missing in a particular movement, don't feel like you're doing anything wrong by circling back to a previous week and giving yourself a review, all right? Remember, I don't care how many reps you can do that are bad, and you shouldn't either. We'll see you next week.